Hello, hi. Oh, the music ended, so I was like,
Yeah,
my mind was like ready to
see?
start. I forgot we
See?
were already going because we're
Get you
fucking
in the
live.
mindset.
Oh God, I'm broken. All right, hello, hi.
Welcome to Counting Cryptids. We're live.
Oh God,
Finally, we're live. Sorry for everybody listening live.
we are a little bit late today. Sorry.
We
I know that you were on, just sitting around waiting to listen.
I mean, a few people did hop in here right away.
I mean,
So,
that is true.
maybe
Yes,
they
all
were,
right,
man.
all right.
Thank you, though. If you're
Yes,
here,
no, for real. Thanks. Appreciate it.
appreciate
Yes. Again, we just posted that Instagram poll as we do at the beginning of every episode, but we did it like an hour ago, maybe two.
Yeah, it's been a minute.
That's like the most on top of an Instagram poll that we have ever been.
Literally,
Ever.
we have never posted it that early. Like, we are like super late usually on the Instagram poll.
You can in fact call in.
You could call in.
Just do it later. I'll tell you when. Don't
all right.
let me forget at the end, but you can in fact call in.
Oh, fire!
I
Let's
don't care.
go.
Do it. Okay, so yes, we just posted an Instagram poll. If you're listening live and you haven't gone and voted, go do it. But what is said Instagram poll?
All right. It's a picture of the clock from Beauty and the Beast.
Cogsworth.
Okay, Cogsworth. And then is this just a big old
No, I think that was like from a prank
door
video.
knock thing?
It's a
Like,
door
just-
knocker with a face.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. So what do you think of when you read the word pendulous? Pendulous?
Pendulous.
Okay. Clocks or knockers? Two options.
I now just thought of like Penn and Teller, but like Pendulous is his full name. He just goes by
Pendulous. Yes.
Pendulous and Teller.
Does Teller have a full name then? Tellersworth.
Tellingsworth. My first name is Tellingsworth. My last name is Brad.
It's Cryptid.
Oh, Rocky Horror. Okay. All right. So yeah, again, if you haven't voted, go do that. Otherwise, we will check back in with that at the end of the episode. Today, we probably should have looked up a lot of pronunciations, but didn't. So if you are
Welcome
pet
back to
peeved
another
by
episode of
those,
Counting Cryptids.
I don't know what you're doing here in the first place, but it's going to be a good one. So I'm going to let you say this one first, Connor, so then I can.
Real
I
quick,
can-
Nathan sent us a gift. I have no idea what that means.
I don't
Thanks,
know what
though.
this means, but
Appreciate
thank you.
it. Come watch us live to send us gifts.
Yes,
apparently.
Indubitably. Okay, yeah, I'm gonna let you pronounce this one first.
Ebu Gogo.
Okay, cool. That's how I would have said it
Okay.
too. It's
Ebu Gogo.
There's gonna be a lot of those. A lot of really bad pronunciation. I think that one's okay though. What?
It's also known as. Here's another stab in the dark. Ine Wiu Poti Wolo is another one.
All of these sound like they're like noises. You know what? What's the? Oh shit! I'm forgetting. I'm drawing a blank of the word that is like. It's
I don't
named
know.
after the sound. Like zip is this kind of word because it's like the word
Describing
is the
a
sound itself.
type. Yeah.
I'm waiting for somebody in chat to just like drop
please?
this knowledge bomb on me real quick. But it hasn't happened yet, so that's where we're at. Oh god damn it. I need you to keep speaking so I can look this up. Connor.
So we have some reviews that will maybe just one new review. We'll share at the end.
I believe
definitely.
so.
After we get through
Onomatopoeia.
No? Really?
This is the imitation of a sound.
That's an onomatopoeia?
Yeah.
Oh. I don't know what I thought that meant, but it wasn't that. I'm probably wrong. I just definitely
Like buzz or boom, things that are like the same. The word itself is the sound it makes.
It's been a very long time since I've been to school or paid attention
Not
to
on
school.
topic whatsoever. I have nay-nayed like 500 times, and I don't know why.
I watched Jacob whip. Oh wait, this is audio only.
Audio only nay-nay. Okay, yes. So this I guess Western legend of the Ebu Gogo dates back to like 1511 when explorers heard tales of a tribe of wild men and women who stole food and kidnapped children. Another thing that I'm probably going to horribly mispronounce, the Nage?
I would say, Nage or something like that.
Nage. The Nage people of Flores, Indonesia, describe the Ebu Gogo as cave-dwelling bipedal humanoid creatures standing just under 5 feet tall with broad faces resembling that of a monkey or an orang-utan, which is a forest person, not a weird pronunciation of orangutan. That's like a local word for something called a forest person, with a wide, flat nose, large mouths, large canine teeth, and hairy bodies. They did not use stone tools and were not able to use fire. Therefore, everything they ate was raw. In addition to the raw diets, everything they ate, they swallowed whole.
Didn't they also eat? I also had that like they're maybe cannibalistic.
So They swallow things whole, including but not limited to rice mortars, puppy dogs, piglets, and small children. It is noted everywhere that females have, Connor.
Is it an orang pendek?
Orang pendek? Yeah, that's something we're talking about later.
Okay. That's what Nathan said it might be. So
I will
shut up, Nathan. We're getting to it.
He sends us a gift and you yell at him. Excellent. I like this. I like this dynamic. Okay.
Appreciate it. So Nathan just helped me on the back end of the podcast. So thanks.
It's okay for you to talk shit about him. All right, fine.
He's one of us.
I tried to get Connor to say this, but he is avoiding it for one reason or another. But everywhere, it is noted that the females have, quote, long pendulous breasts.
Yeah, saw that.
Oh God, you can't. More. Yes, pendulous. I don't know. Killing me over here.
Love it.
All right. So yeah, that's a thing. I don't really know. I've never heard of the word pendulous in this.
I've never heard the word pendulous. Like I know what a pendulum is, but I've never heard pendulous as a word before.
Yeah, I don't think I have either.
And so I was really confused, and for it to be associated with breasts immediately was so uncomfortable. Pendulous breasts.
Yes, you did in fact hear us correctly. Pendulous breasts.
We said it at least 3, 4,
It's
5
really
times.
hard to say. That itself, those two words, is almost a tongue twister.
Pendulous breasts.
Yeah.
But it rolls off the tongue somehow so easily.
A National Geographic documentary. All right, so apparently that's just something that we should have been aware of. Sorry. Okay, so
did you look for any pictures of pendulous breasts?
No, I certainly didn't. This is my work computer, so I didn't want to get fired for that.
We'll leave that to the listeners to
referring to the side to side movement that they make, I suppose, because it would be a pendulum.
Right.
So yeah.
But they're so long, I saw that they could throw them over their shoulder, like a continental soldier.
Oh God, Connor, no. Yeah, we get a link in the description.
I'll
Connor
work
could do
on
that
it.
one. Yeah, there you go. We'll have a GIF in there.
When my wife's gone.
Yeah. It's just going to be redirected to the National Geographic.
In relation to pendulous breasts,
old lady
the name for the name Ebu Gogo comes from the words Ebu meaning grandmother and Gogo roughly translating to one who eats anything. So pendulous breasts. Maybe it's just an old lady. Like
it could
50.
just be an old lady. I don't know. Again, they said also sometimes they were described as having pot bellies, large ears, disproportionately long arms and fingers, very strong and fast runners despite their slightly awkward way of walking, which I guess your awkward way of walking kind of ties into just being an old lady. Also, I kept seeing that they were like able to climb quote slender girthed trees. I'm just gonna leave that one where it is. Again, often described as greedy. I saw in one place described as thoroughly disagreeable, which I relate to that pretty well.
Just an angry bunch of old women.
Yeah.
Does sound
so
terrible.
you had just mentioned the what the name means. According to this telegraph.co, the origins of the name come from when the neighboring village invited them to a celebration of sorts. So from that directly is, as was customary at the time, the people of Flores had celebrations, whether for rituals or merely to entertain themselves. To get to know them better, the villagers invited the small neighbors to participate. At the celebration, the small people danced and laughed in their own peculiar language, eating and drinking to their heart's content. They ate so much and so indiscriminately that for their own safety, the villagers had to stop them from randomly picking up sharp objects to eat. Amused, the villagers nicknamed them Ebu Gogo, grandmother who eats everything. Link to that article in the description.
Just get them a little like hooded thing and just send them into the village, steal people's food. Grandma.
Yes, these are the dudes. You're getting ahead of everything here. Settle down.
No. Okay.
Settle down.
Nathan, I didn't send to this one beforehand, so I don't know. If we forget anything at the end, Nathan, let us know.
He knows it better than we do, probably.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm unsure where this ties into the name origins, but I guess the name, or I guess the Ebu Gogo at some point began to like take things from the natives. I mean, it kind of was like crops and food, things of that nature. I don't know. You might have this.
They took
in your notes.
Few children, I believe. Yeah.
Yeah, that's kind of what it ended up at, which obviously didn't sit well with
the the
the
Nage.
people, yeah, the Nagi, whatever we're calling them.
Yeah, so the Nage decided that they were going to exterminate them or
Real quick, yes.
devise a plan.
Sorry. So the implication they took the kids was that they ate them.
I
I had that vibe. I kept seeing like there is mention of cannibalism, but is it cannibalism if they're a different, like if they're a subspecies? Like if I eat a monkey, am I a cannibal?
If you eat a human.
Only if I eat a human.
If you eat a
but
monkey,
if something else eats a human, it isn't a cannibal.
How many things away does it have to be for
I do not have that answer.
Scientist.
I think it's the exact same, but my question then is it
species to species.
I don't think cannibal is the right word. I put man eater question mark, like, you know, I don't, that doesn't seem right, but
that would be a much more,
they're very human-esque, so
thing,
cannibalistic does seem like it fits the bill.
Like, what if they're monkeys? Like,
if an orangutan eats a person, it's not a cannibal.
So it's
just a wild animal.
Monster,
you know what I mean? Yeah, it's a monster, sure, but like I don't know. Either way, sorry, continue.
You want to get rid of these creatures, probably. So they tricked the Ebu Gogo into accepting a gift of clothing fashioned from highly flammable palm fiber. The greedy creatures, the Ebu Gogo, eagerly took them into the caves that they inhabited. So when all the villagers, all the Ebu Gogo gathered in this cave and like refused to come out, the Nage threw torches in after them, igniting the fibers that were on the clothes and killed all but a few of the Ebu Gogo. It says that the few survivors were hunted down and killed, but there are many that believe that some managed to like make their way out and, you know, hide in the deepest jungles.
I saw that they headed westward specifically after
that.
I don't understand that, and I do have confirmation in chat that the definition of cannibalism is the practice of eating the flesh of one's own species. So that's the last one. Kermit Butte, Carrots on Fozzie's green sweater. Kingdom, phylum, class, order, family, genus, species.
Damn.
Species is the last one. Let's go, motherfuckers. Let's do it. What? Yeah, no, that's on top of my head. Let's do it. So, okay. So, yes. The species would be the one that they would be different from there, because that's the last line, or it would be further out. So it's not within the same. So technically would not be cannibalism if they are different.
Debunked already.
Just throwing that out there for a little bit, you know.
Should I hop on the sidebar, or do you have anything more?
Do your sidebar.
Okay, real quick. This is what I believe Nathan was referring to earlier. But this is another story of a group that died in a similar way in the ancient group. So this one is about the red-haired giants of Lovelock Cave.
We talked about this in the Giants episode, right?
Yes. Yeah. So the CTK, just to go over that again, if you haven't heard the episode, you should go listen to it. But the red-haired giant species of Lovelock Cave, or the CTK, they were a red-haired species, the remains of which were found by guano miners in the cave known as Lovelock Cave near Lovelock, Nevada in the USA. That was in 1911, but didn't report their finding until the year later in 1912. But archaeologists were still able to find 10,000 artifacts, including duck decoys, sandals, baskets, and those were dated back to about 2,000 years. According to a group of Paiutes, Paiutes, I believe is how you pronounce that, is another group. It's actually referring to 3 groups of indigenous people from that area. But they said that they were at war with these tall, cannibalistic, red-headed giants. When they finally backed the CTK tribe into Lovelock Cave, when the CTK refused to come out of the mouth of the cave was set aflame, annihilating the people within.
That is a very similar story to exactly the same one that we had just heard.
Almost the same exact thing
from this. You are correct. That does. We have a little bit. I mean, we probably have that exact same amount on that story in that episode. But if you're interested, we did do a whole episode on that very topic. So I guess moving forward, I don't know. There's not like modern sightings. Like it doesn't really happen in this instance. Like nothing's really been seen on this in a very long time. I don't have anything documented. But there's in the area, again, in Indonesia, I think we had mentioned briefly at the beginning, is where this is said to exist.
Flores.
Yes. across Indonesia, it is comprised of several different islands. There is many other things that are very similar. Yes, exactly. Right now, it's the Orang Pendek is what I'm talking about right now. Right, we're
Yeah.
here in chat. Nathaniel's 2 steps ahead of me. But it's the most common
Yeah.
name given to a cryptid. Reportedly inhabits a remote mountains forest in the island of Sumatra. Again, one of the islands of western Indonesia. The animal has allegedly been seen and documented for at least 100 years by forest tribes and local villages, as well as Dutch colonists and Western scientists and travelers alike. Uh, consensus among witnesses is that the animal is ground dwelling, though it has been seen in trees, bipedal, covered in short gray brown fur, but also sometimes blackish brown, red brown, golden brown, yellow, or orange fur. Stands between 2.5 and 5 feet tall, has a divergent big toe, so it's separate from the other toes, like your thumb is
More
from your
ape-like.
fingers on your hand. Yes, much more ape like. Largely herbivorous and has short legs with long, powerful arms. One Debbie Mater, Martyr. I stumbled through
Martyr.
that hard. Yeah. Oh God. A prominent Orang Pendek researcher who has worked in the area for over 15 years has interviewed hundreds of witnesses and alleges to have seen the animal personally on several occasions. Gives the following description: usually no more than 85 to 90 centimeters in height, although occasionally as large as 1 meter 20 centimeters. The body is covered in a coat of dark gray block or black flecked with gray hair, but is but is sheer physical power of the Orang Pendek that is most impressive to the Kernisi villagers. They speak in awe of its broad shoulders, huge chest, and upper abdomen and powerful arms. The animal is so strong, the villagers would whisper that it can uproot small trees and even break rattan vines. The legs, in comparison, are short and slim. The feet, neat and small, usually turned out at an angle of up to 45 degrees. The head slopes back to a distinct crest, similar to that of a gorilla, and there appears to be a bony ridge above the eyes. But the mouth is small and neat, the eyes are set wide apart, and the nose is distinctly humanoid. When frightened, the animal exposes its teeth, revealing oddly broad incisors and prominent long canine teeth.
An orangutan?
I mean, that's what it sounds like.
I don't. How big is 90 centimeters?
80, what, like 85 to 90 centimeters?
Yeah.
It is 35 inches.
3 feet.
Mm-hmm. 3 feet tall.
2.5 to 3 feet tall.
Mhm.
Bro, that's an orangutan. I don't get. I don't.
Orangutan, 4.6 feet, 3.9 to 4.6.
So what's the fucking deal here?
It's a little bit on the small side, it seems like, but I guess now that you have mentioned it, if I scroll to this part in my notes somewhere that I'm not able to find because that would be convenient. Okay, so specifically about orangutans, witnesses could possibly be seeing orangutans. However, one, the species has long been thought to died out in the northern region of the area, and two, witnesses almost never describe the animal as having orange fur. So if they were seeing orangutan in the area, that would still then technically be a cryptid, because if they were thought to no longer exist in that region, and then there is still a population. So this is like the exact same thing that we did last week in that instance. So
okay, sure, they're orangutan.
but okay, maybe, but also maybe not. So some dietary habits of this orang pendek. Sightings by locals often take place in farmland on the edge of forests, where the orang pendek is allegedly seen walking through fields and raiding crops, especially corn, potatoes, and fruit. Locals with experience in the forest claim that orang pendek seeks out ginger roots, a plant known locally as paher or lolo, young shoots, insects in rotting logs, and river crabs. The durian fruit is also thought to be one of their favorites. So again, we had talked about the origin stories of the other ones raiding their crops and then getting a little too greedy and taking more.
Isn't that what monkeys do?
Steal shit?
Yeah.
I think I saw a video this weekend of a monkey stealing some lady's phone. That shit happens all the time. There's a bunch of like regional name variants though. Of like similar things that maybe aren't quite exactly the same, but I'm gonna butcher all of them just the same.
Oh yes.
Oh boy, this is gonna be bad.
I can take a stab at a few if you want
yeah,
me
hit it.
to.
How about you? How about we alternate in between?
Uahang Pendek.
Okay. Sedapa.
Ebu Gogo. Or among.
Umang, I think was how I would say
Umang,
that
that's
one.
Good point.
Orang Gugu.
Orang Let Go. Lecjo,
Atto Pendek,
Eto Rainbow,
Ijo,
Sedabo,
and Goge. Yeah, that's bad. I don't know. I
Gogo,
don't know that one.
Yeah, I don't know. And then we have some noted reports of the orang pendek. A Miss Van Heerwarden, who described an encounter he had while I said Miss is Mr.
Yep.
Van Heerwarden. He described an encounter he had while surveying his land in 1923. I discovered a dark and hairy creature on a branch. Sedapa was also hairy on the front of its body. The color there was a little lighter than on the back. The very dark hair on its head fell to just below the shoulder blades or even almost to the waist. Had it been standing, its arms would have reached to a little above its knees. They were therefore long, but its legs seemed to be rather short. I did not see its feet, but I did see some toes which were shaped in a very normal manner. There was nothing repulsive or ugly about his face, nor was it at all ape-like.
I think a orangutan has a very distinctly ape-like face. Yes,
Maybe.
if it's the face of a person on all of that too, like that's kind of creepy.
What about Mr. Oosting?
Yeah. So then there's another Ustin who saw the creature while walking in the forest. Says, I saw that he had short hair, cut short, I thought, and I suddenly realized that his neck was oddly leathery and extremely filthy. That chap's got a very dirty and wrinkled neck, I said to myself. His body was as large as a medium sized native's, and he had thick, square shoulders, not sloping at all, is probably the word. He seemed to be quite as tall as I. This wording is fucking weird. Then I saw that it was not a man, it was an orang utan. I had seen, which is the forest man. I said it earlier. I had seen one of these larger apes a short time before. It was like a monstrously large, I don't know, fucking monkey. I can't say that word. Singmang, but Singmang has long hair, and there was no doubt that it had short hair.
Okay.
So then from 2001 to 2003, scientists analyzed hair and casts of footprints found by three British men, Adam Davies, Andrew Sanderson, and Keith Townley, while they were traveling. Dr. David Shivers, a primate biologist from the University of Cambridge, compared the casts to those of known primates and local animals and stated the casts of the footprint taken was definitely an ape with a unique blend of features from a gibbon, orangutan, chimpanzee, and human. From further examination, the prints did not match any known primate species, and I can conclude that this points towards there being a large unknown primate in the forests of Sumatra.
Hans Brunner. Is that a name? Hans Brunner. I feel like that's a common name, maybe.
I don't know. That's how I'd say it.
Who is an Australian hair analyst, compared the hairs to those of other primates and local animals and suggested that they originated from a previously undocumented species of primate. Dr. Todd Dishotel, a biological anthropologist from New York University, performed DNA analysis on the hairs and found nothing but human DNA in the sample. He cautioned, however, that the contamination by people who handled the hairs could have introduced this DNA, or that the original DNA could have been decomposed, saying it's pretty easily could be just somebody's human hair.
Just mishandled at some point in time.
Exactly.
Yeah. So beginning in 2005, National Geographic funded a camera trapping project in TNKS, led by Dr. Peter C. of Dartmouth College, that attempted to provide photographic documentation of the orang pendek. The project ended in 2009, 4 years later, with zero success. Many locals say that orang pendek's feet look like those of a child. This is a terrible segue, but that's fine. Evidenced by footprints they have found while walking through the forest, however, another local animal, the sun bear, is a possible source of these sightings. Bears in general are known for having feet that look quite human-like, and the size of a sun bear's are similar to those of a child. In addition, gibbons populate the forests of the area and are known to occasionally descend to the ground and walk around on two legs for a short period of time. I had mentioned the orangutan already. That was the part I had next to my notes, but we already talked about that. So
I don't think I've ever seen a bear that I would describe had feet like a baby's foot.
Uh, yeah. I mean, I think in size, I think the sun bear specifically, it sort of looks like a person. I'll see if I can get an example
Is
of
it the
that real quick and link
person
that in
like
the
foot
description.
or like the print? Because maybe it has similar prints.
Yeah, I think the print specifically. I don't think
Oh,
it's
okay.
feet, but
I could maybe see that.
okay. No, I kind of get it. I kind of get it looking at this picture. I can see its paw pads, and it kind of looks like
Mm-hmm.
it would be like a foot and toes, and then the claws are further out in front of that still.
Okay, and it doesn't have the thumb on the side.
I mean, maybe it does, but the Oran Pendek did as well.
Right.
So I mean, if the thumb was, forgot the word already, but if it was that way, then
I've got a story here about
Oh,
a
okay.
Ebu Gogo from the chief of Boawe.
I want to hear you try to pronounce all those words that came before that.
The chief's name is Iparatus. Yikes. You can't put those letters together. Doi. I don't know. Liwa. Iparatus Doi Liwa is what I'm going with. According to this chief, a female specimen was actually captured in the village in 2004. The main feature, this is where the pendulous breast come from. And this article has said that could have been draped over her shoulder. I already made the joke like a continental soldier.
It's still funny.
But apparently, yeah, this is a common detail for the Ebu Gogo. Unfortunately, this mysterious woman escaped and fled back into the forest, so there is no way of knowing who or what she was.
Or if it actually happened.
Correct.
Because there's no documentation of that actually happening. Like,
no pictures. It's
no
2004, bro. Get yourself a camera.
Okay, but
Is
you're
it a
talking
small
about
village?
like in a remote village
Okay,
in Indonesia in
that was
2004.
insensitive
You're
of
not.
me.
Yeah, that's. How ignorant are you, Connor?
I'm pretty ignorant.
Jesus Christ.
A lot.
Okay.
10.
You're 10 on a scale of 1 to ignorant. Okay. So from the exemplar article, the Orang Pendek sighting evidence and theories. There's something called the Orang Kardil. So it is yet another Sumatran jungle dweller known as by the locals, where natives identify Orang Pendek as an animal in the forest. Orang Kardel is most certainly a small human, not an ape. Like Ebu Gogo, this human-like creature is vicious and known to steal food and other items from the human villagers. Orang Kardil, which translates roughly to tiny people, hunt with spears, and there are stories of them killing humans when they cross paths. This sounds much more like what we would imagine Homo floresiensis to be if they were still around today. I guess we'll talk about that again in a little bit. At this point of convolution, it starts to make sense. Add one more possibility: our human ancestors did share the earth with Homo floresiensis. So I guess we need to talk about that at this point.
Okay.
You have some stuff in your notes about that, yes?
Yeah. You pretty much can't go through researching Ebu Gogo without finding information.
Well, I mean,
on
it's
Homo
super
floresiensis.
relevant.
Especially this one. Like, it's like they're Flores, Indonesia is like where these Homo floresiensis.
Homo florensis?
Flores.
Floresiensis.
Yeah, don't look at it too hard.
Boy,
It gets harder.
I was talking shit at first, and now I feel bad. Floresiensis is how I would say that, but that does not sound right to me. It appears that you were just DM'd some knowledge.
Yes, Nathan sent me a picture of the Homo floresiensis.
Of the pendulous
wow,
breasts.
I can't say it. Homo floro. I'm gonna just go with that. Apparently, according to Nathan, it's like they're found in the same area also, like as the Orang Pendek.
Well, I mean in
they're
Indonesia,
they're all in Indonesia.
Yeah, the area. I mean, it's very small, and there's these very similar things, and some of them appear to be more ape-like, some of them appear to be more human-like. But this specifically, if you would.
So in 2003, a nearly complete tiny human female skeleton was discovered in Liang Bua cave on the island of Flores in Indonesia, like we were talking about. Since the discovery of the bone, the first discovery here of the bones in 2003, as many as 12 individuals have like had parts of their bodies found.
Okay. In that same area?
Yes.
Okay.
And the bulk of which were dated back to between 100,000 and 60,000 years ago. And there was some tools that apparently were made by the people that were dated back to like 190,000 to 50,000 years ago. And
That's about the only differentiating thing between
yes,
the Ebu Gogo
tools,
and
obvious tools.
the Homo floresiensis. I'm gonna just start to pronounce that
Homo
differently every time
flores-
for fun. Homo floresiensis. It's like Worcestershire sauce, you know. Nobody knows how to fucking say it.
Um, they did do a height estimate from
Based
the
off the
bones
skeletal
recording,
remains.
and they had it measuring about 3.5 feet in height and about 66 pounds. In 2016, however,
Link.
I don't even know if this is the right thing. Yeah,
That is a fair point. Just because nobody has seen somebody using them tools doesn't mean that they don't still use them or they can't still use them. It just means
Yeah.
that you haven't seen them use them. And I suppose as seldomly as they are seen at this juncture, I mean that does make sense. So
I mean they're going in and they're pretty much scavenging. Like they don't really need tools per se, especially if you're gonna eat it all whole. Like
yeah, I don't know, just just eat a whole potato,
They
swallow
all-
that shit
like-
whole.
they don't use fire. They don't need tools. Like they just never found a use for them. But it doesn't mean like they didn't have them.
I hope that's how you all are enjoying your potatoes this holiday season. Just swallowing a whole potato.
Oh, yeah, just biting
No,
it out like an apple.
no, you don't bite it. You just swallow a whole potato.
You could kill somebody, Jacob. You should be cautious with what you say.
I never specified the size of potato that
Could
they
be
should be using.
a little bee-sized potato.
A little,
yellow
a tiny
potato,
little
or maybe
potato.
Ted
The baby
Reds,
reds. Okay, this is getting off topic. All right, what else do you got?
My child is standing in the room.
He's just staring at us, and now
Yeah.
there is immense amounts of pressure, and I feel like I'm giving a presentation at a high school. My palms are sweating.
Knees weak.
Mom spaghetti. What? Oh, you like that? You don't even know what that reference is, kid.
You've never heard that song before.
So there's a lot of weird stuff in Indonesia, just kind of in general, throwing that out there. I want to say that was like Ahul and Ropen as well, was where those were taking place. And then there was that fake giant that was fighting the snake in that religious exhibit. The
Atticus
skeleton.
pointed out we're still taking shots when we get off topic.
Oh,
I haven't
my
drank
drink
in,
is
like,
already empty.
10
I
minutes.
have oh no. I mean, it's only were we off topic
will
just
drink
because
to
of the
that.
kid? I feel like it was on topic. Shots of Mountain Dew.
I do have
God.
some orange soda over here. Who likes orange soda?
All right, what do you have for me here?
I'm not gonna read that. I just searched small races of humans. The first one.
Yeah, definitely not
Going
gonna
to
read
skip that one.
Okay, how about you go to the second one?
Oh, look at it. It's Homo floresiensis. Another one.
All right. So
All right, don't search this.
but the orang excuse me, not the orang the Homo florensis florensensis
Floresiensis.
Yeah, the thing
Florens-
I'm just gonna say differently every time and intentionally butcher because there's no way I'm saying it right. That's they call them like hobbits. Like that's what they
Yeah,
they're like
yeah.
they're just
Nicknamed
it's
as
just
hobbits.
it's just hobbits. They're just like small little hairy people.
You've seen Lord of the Rings.
But like this is real. Unlike the other things that we were talking about, where it's like there's sightings. This is confirmed. We have
they did live at one time.
this. Yes, this exists. You hear fucking Joe Rogan talking about this all the time on his
Yeah.
podcast. But yes, it's that sort of thing.
It's super interesting. I
Oh my
enjoy reading about it, but I've heard about it quite a few times. Like I'm fairly familiar. I didn't, however, think of it when I started doing this research.
The Hobbit.
Yeah,
Sort of, yeah.
Hadn't popped in my head, and then it pulled up in one of the articles, and I was like, oh yeah, duh.
Connecting dots.
Connecting dots as we do here.
Very
at Counting
slowly.
dots.
I guess also just throwing this out there, this is kind of like a regional variant for the boogeyman. It seems like that's kind of what it is
Yeah.
today, really. Like it's just like something to scare children into behaving.
One
In a lot of
the-
instances, that's kind of what it seems like.
Yeah, one of the articles I saw was like suggesting that it might be like of a spirit, a type of spirit.
I saw that as well.
And
Yeah,
I was just like,
I don't really understand that.
I don't think that's exactly what it is.
I don't
But
either.
Apparently, it was a tale that the Nage people like would tell their kids to keep them in at night type thing.
Makes
Like
sense.
witches. I don't know.
Okay.
Is that an example?
I'd probably not, but sure. I had seen in one other spot too that they had asked some local tribe, they're like, so do you like interbreed with them, or did you ever interbreed with them or anything? They're like, no. Like just like very much
No.
denying it.
Hard no. Hard
No.
pass.
Yeah, exactly. But then there was like a joke that was like, oh, but like, two tribes over, there's somebody with the pendulous breasts or whatever, so then there's just there's always the two villages over, there's somebody who did that kind of thing. That's just like
my brothers.
yeah, twice removed cousins, that sort of thing. It's just okay. So I didn't know what to make of that, but no, I guess, was the thing. I guess also this isn't the same thing, but I would be remiss if we did an episode talking about unknown primates and didn't mention Sasquatch whatsoever.
Let's not mention Sasquatch in this episode.
Okay, never mind. Then I
No.
technically did mention Sasquatch, and we're just moving on and being done. Cool.
I mean, we can talk about
Not
Sasquatch.
really. It's just like in like the terms of like I have like pros and cons and things to include. Like it's a thing to include because if we're talking about like, hey, primates existing somewhere that people don't know about, like that's a big one. People are aware of that one.
correct. It says if you're trying to watch an episode of Finding Bigfoot, there's an
Finding Bigfoot did an
Pendek
episode on Orang Pendek.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm so bad at reading. Why
Factual.
do I do a podcast?
I don't know.
I am. Wow.
As I peek.
Yeah, I'll fix that.
All right, so yeah, I don't know. Sasquatch basically is all I wanted to mention, just like as a given an obligation. I have to, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I got to throw it out there. If we're talking about primates, and then I think we talked about it briefly on another episode too, where I don't know if it was the Bondo apes or whatever, but they were like, I mean, in the 2000s they were discovered. There was rumored it was like this same thing here, where you just have like regional stories of something, and people didn't think it existed, and then suddenly you find a couple of them, and then you're like, oh yeah, they were talking about a real thing the whole time. So it happens, and there is stories outside of the area of very sort of similar things too.
I'm very obliged to listen to what, like, there's definitely like a translation barrier between like native tribes, but they seem to like understand English from what I read. Like, I don't know this for sure, but they're like an ongoing tribe that obviously has in contact with more developed areas. So like listening to what they have to say about what they saw, like I'm more obliged to like believe them because they're not, you know, they're doing their own thing. Like they're not influenced by TV and the internet and all these things that could just like.
Well, and plus you're out there. I mean, if you know the things that exist out and around you, and you've seen like, oh, cool, I know all of the primates in the area look like, and then you see one that looks like totally different. Like, what? I mean, that definitely would be notable, right? I guess I have one last thing that I need to mention.
Mention it.
So there is a band, Connor.
What kind of band, Jacob?
The band is called Neanderthals. Neo, like Neanderthals, but like Neo.
Neo, like Neo tilted.
The only reason that I am bringing them up is because their second studio album, released on April 13th, 2011, is titled Ebu Gogo, Gutting the Child.
Oh, Jesus.
Featuring such tracks as Homo floresiensis, Cutthroat, Diet of Worms, and everybody's favorite, Funeral Ejaculation.
Metal. Does sound metal as fuck.
It is, in fact, metal as fuck. I have a link in my description to the Bandcamp page, Connor. You want to play one of those real quick? Connor is actively posting a link to this in the description. Yeah, the names are they're pretty good. And you know, it has all the lyrics on there, and they're really bad.
Like if there was a child in a room, we could totally read them.
No.
Oh, they're just bad.
Yeah, track 4, Funeral Ejaculation. Once you click on that, there's a lyrics on that page as well. Why don't you read the first line?
Spitting back, chewing gum.
Yeah, you want to read that again?
Spitting back, chewing cum. Chewed cum.
Yeah, but it's one of those ones too where it's just like random grunting and it's literally not words. I listen to music where they actually do this kind of thing, but like not like this where it's just like and it doesn't sound anything like what the lyrics are supposed to be. No, it doesn't sound. Yeah, exactly.
You really, yeah, he probably should.
But yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's a thing.
The illustration for the album art is nice.
It's pretty brutal. You can see his schlong.
100%.
And also, it says gutting the child, but whoever he's gutting has breasts. And
yeah.
I would assume then is not, but
breasts.
I don't really want to get into assuming too much there. So I'm just kind of moving right along from that. You know, okay, yeah. So you see this down here, the next one, they have another album that came out since called Neanderthal Parallax, but it's actually Neanderthal, not Neanderthal, like their name is. So I saw that stuff and I was like, do they have like typos on 80% of their merch, but their logo is still the old one? What is happening? No, it's just basically the same word but spelled different. It confused me. It
I
confused
don't
me.
even think my brain could process saying those like two like
Yeah, I'm
saying
having a hard
Neanderthal
time.
two different ways in the same. I can't even say it once now.
I know, right? Because every time I say it, I'm like, no, you said that wrong.
Neanderthals.
Yeah,
Neanderthals.
yeah.
Those are the two words.
So, again, what's the name of the band again?
Neanderthals.
Yeah, in that link that he posted, it says :// that's their name, and then .bandcamp. NEOANDERTALS. Confused yet? Me either. Okay, so that
Counting
concludes
Cryptids.
my notes, Connor.
Do you think there's still Ebu Gogo or Homo floresiensis still like running around in these areas?
I don't have enough recent sightings that say yes, specifically there is. And with Ebu Gogo specifically, it doesn't appear that there have been sightings recently whatsoever. So if this is the same as other things, you know what I mean? Like it's hard to say. If it's different, I mean, there's something, right? There's got to be something. If they know what native species look like.
Yeah. I mean, only thing I can think of is a thing passed down generation by generation. But I don't think.
Well, or you're talking to like an orangutan, but they're supposed to be not in the area anymore. So.
Yeah. I mean, if these people were around during the Homo floresiensis time, like before they went extinct, then they pass that down to their like by generation.
Okay.
And so they're telling the story to keep kids from going out at night just because their parents told them and their parents told them, so on and so forth. So it's not, a figurative small person by this point in time. So but they believe it pretty hard. Like
not unrelated,
yeah,
but definitely not related. There's this annoying story my dad tells me all the time, or like it relates to work very often.
Annoying dad stories.
It's like this story of like, so this, it's about like baking a turkey. Like this, I don't know if she's like her mother-in-law's making it or whatever it is, but she cuts the turkey in half and puts it in the pan or whatever, goes through all this stuff. So then she always goes through this same process of cutting the turkey in half. And it's like, I don't understand why I do this every time because it's such a pain to do it. And I guess like it comes back around. I'm really bad at telling stories, so that's fine. But it comes back around like years later, like somebody finally asks why that's the case. It's just like, oh yeah, because I didn't have a pan big enough to fit the turkey, so I had to use two pans. So it's like you're doing all of this work just because it's that situation of like, it's because we've always done it this way sort of thing. Like you have an oven big enough, you have pans big enough to do one, but because you just learned that you're like, oh nope, you got to cut the turkey in half because that's what you do every time.
Okay.
That sort of thing.
So what does your dad tell you this for? Like
I'm relating this to what you just said. Okay, never mind. Apparently it didn't make sense.
I'm confused.
Never mind.
My dad didn't tell me the shit like that.
All right, so we're done with that then. Do we go review or do we go? Well, sorry, I'm getting ahead of myself. What do you think?
Chill.
What do you think?
I don't see why not. I mean, when some of the sources said that the Nage reported there being like a small population, about 50 or so, like that seems like a pretty decent population for a very small area. But if you like spread that across Indonesia, probably not that much. It probably won't last long. Like I don't know. I have a hard time believing that it's still a thing if it was at that population at that time.
Yeah, I mean, well, and part of that too is like, well, I guess it's not part of that, but Indonesia is just going to be like Jakarta's going to be underwater in 20 years. 20 with the water rising and stuff, like Jakarta, like actively they think is going to be by 2040 it's just underwater.
Wouldn't that suck to live there?
Yeah, people are still buying houses.
Seriously.
Yep. Come on. That's what it is. I mean, it's a third world country technically, but
use your head.
Moving on. So yeah, I don't know. I don't see why not. And this, I don't know. It's hard to say because you don't have a lot of there's no photos. There's not like recent stuff really, but you got footprints, you got natives, and you got to take that. I don't know, especially when they're not like they're very like differentiating between like lore and like factual in a lot of these instances as well, and you got to kind of take that at face value. So that's where I'm at. Sure, something's out there. Why not?
Yeah, maybe it is a monkey that's gone astray.
A monkey fell out of a
cargo ship full of bananas.
Oh, okay. I was. Oh, oh my God. So what you have just done is the plot to the movie Arachnophobia, but with monkeys.
Yeah.
I like that a lot too. So I guess that concludes that bit of the episode. Shall we move on and check back in with that Instagram poll?
Do you want to do the Instagram poll and then the review?
Yes, let's do that.
Okay. The Instagram.
So the Instagram poll was that of a photo of Cogsworth and door knocker,
Hey, door knocker. Yes.
because we're asking about clocks and knockers.
Yeah. What do you hear? What do you think of when you hear the word or read the word pendulous?
Definitely clocks.
You would be correct. 11 out of 8 people voted
Ayy.
for clocks over knockers.
Wait, how many?
11 over 8.
I thought you
19.
said out of. I was like, that doesn't make sense, but okay.
11 over 8. So there's a
Gotcha.
total of 19. 11 voted.
We posted the
clocks.
poll like an hour and a half, 2 hours early, and there was less people this time than last time.
Observations. I don't know what that says about our show.
You know, I mean, it's a Sunday versus a Saturday. Maybe that has something to
Let
do
me
with
check out the Facebook because there was
Oh, okay.
maybe a vote. I don't know how to check this on stuff.
Okay, so there was nothing on Facebook. I guess then I will just
67% with me included. 50% voted for clocks and knockers.
All right,
So,
sick.
Yep. So the same thing I said. But over on Facebook still, while I'm over there reading that poll
Yes,
like an
hit
idiot,
that recommendation
the
is now what it is
recommendation-
called on
Facebook recommendation by
Facebook.
Dustin. He does recommend the podcast. He says, anybody who, like me, enjoys cryptids and the world of mystery should listen to these guys. If you don't now, you will eventually, and the show doesn't disappoint. Monsters vs. Monsters, is it real or not? How to defeat it, etc. All presented with the right amount of comedy. If I'm driving or painting, I'm listening to Counting Cryptids.
Hey,
Thanks,
you.
Dustin.
That was awesome.
I appreciate that.
Me as well. That's a very nice one.
I hope we don't disappoint.
I don't know that one either. I don't think we've read that one on the show.
All right,
From
we're going to
Ty.
read this one. Ty, if we read yours again, you won the lottery. You get a second read. This one was from September 14th, so we very well could have missed it. Sorry if we did.
Or we did it, and I don't remember because
I'm
that
gonna
was
read it
during our
again,
UFO
so,
stint, but go for it.
This show is so funny and very interesting. They have introduced me to a lot of new cryptids. Keep it up, guys.
Sweet.
Appreciate
Awesome.
it.
Thank you. Also, if we had forgotten to read that one,
Yeah,
sorry.
not
If
any
we
less
did
if
already
we-
read it, whatever. I'm going to just pad our stats and make it seem like people like us more than they do.
Keep padding those
I guess
stats.
that puts us back over. Oh, I guess we have to do ours. Okay, so the next
we just had
last
way out of order.
episode, we talked about the thing, the beast of the thing,
The Beast of,
Bodmin Moor,
Bodmin
the
Moor,
beast
that-
of
that one, that
Bodmin,
one.
Bodmin Moor. So
seizure.
as awkwardly as I can possibly explain, we do this thing every single episode that if you somehow don't know by now that we do like a 1v1 between this week and the last week. I don't think I've explained it in like a whole season, but last week we talked about the Beast of Bodmin Moor. So
This
who do you
week-
think would win between the Beast of Bodmin Moor and Ebu Gogo?
That's a tough one, Jacob. A large mountain lion or a
For a
3.5
small person?
foot person? Yeah. Bodmin Moor carries on.
Yeah, I would agree on that one 100%. But
I really have zero argument to make about Ebu Gogo.
why don't you then head over to social media? Let us know what you think. If you're listening live, don't bother because it's not there yet.
Not
give
there
it give it a week or so, and then it'll be there. However,
Friday,
if you're
usually
listening-
following the episode release.
please do that. So we then need to see what the poll results were from last time.
All right. So on to the 1v1 results portion of the show. I'm here alone because of the way things have worked out doing the live show, as our recording session doesn't really work well with our 1v1 results sharing. So It's just me. I'm here, and I will be running through those before we get started. I just wanted to let you know that following the regularly scheduled outro, we have a special guest, Nathaniel, who joined us on our Podbean live show to pretty much just shoot the shit. It's very rough due to the way things work with Podbean, our host, but we thought you might enjoy it, so we threw it at the end here. So stay tuned after poll results and the regular outro for our chat with Nathaniel. And back to the results here. I'm going to start with Twitter. The turd of the bunch, if you will. They had very, very low participation, as usual. So if you're on Twitter, go over to twitter.com/countcryptid so you can vote on the polls yourself and help us out on that platform. So of the 4 people that voted, 100% of the people voted for the Beast of Bodmin Moor. That's how things work on Twitter. Over on Facebook, a semi-different story. We had about 16 people voting over there on the platform. It is live forever. I do not set that to expire, so if you're listening to this at a later date, you can still go vote. Comment on the post if you put in a vote, after we read the results. But the results for the Jinn versus the Beast of Bodmin Moor, the Jinn took 69% of the votes, leaving 31% for the Beast of Bodmin Moor. And then Instagram. We love you. 23 people voted in 24 hours compared to, Twitter, which is a week. Facebook never ends, but it's been about a week now. And, 24 hours is all Instagram gets. But they have the highest amount of participants. They have 23 this week, which is more than Twitter and Facebook combined. So thank you if you're on Instagram. Especially thank you if you voted. For the poll, the Jinn got 61% of the votes, leaving 39% for the Beast of Bodmin Moor. In total, that brings us to 58% for the Jinn overall and 42% for the Beast of Bodmin Moor. And it was pretty close, though I don't know. There's these people over here on Twitter, although a small chunk, they usually tip the scales per se. But, we could probably just look at the Instagram poll and get a good idea of what the actual outcome will be overall. But anyway, thank you again for voting, for listening, and as always, join us on social media, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Discord, YouTube. We try to be as many places as we can be. Also leave a review. We appreciate that. Even just, a 5-star rating or whatever rating you feel appropriate for the show on iTunes or whatever platform you're using to listen to the podcast. Again, listen past the outro here to listen to our chat with Nathan. And we hope you have a great Thanksgiving, because this is coming out on Thanksgiving. I don't think we addressed that at all during the show. But happy Thanksgiving. Check out our chat with Nathaniel, and see you on social media in about a day or two. Thanks for checking out this week's episode.
If you want to get your 2 cents in, answer this week's polls on social media.
You can find us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, as well as Discord.
Links for all the social media, as well as everything else we talked about on the show, are available at gobblesquatch.com.
If you have any questions, concerns, suggestions, or you just want to chat, you can email us at countingcryptids@hotmail.com.
Don't forget to subscribe, rate, and tell your friends.
I've been Connor.
I've been Jacob.
And we'll see you in a couple of weeks for another fascinating installment of Counting Cryptids. Set,
Connected with Titan Lord.
Brandy used her phone the one time, and it worked pretty well, actually.
She just called in, literally.
Yeah, literally, just on the phone with me.
Oh, that's tight.
Nathan.
Yo.
What's up?
Oh my god, it worked.
Okay, we can hear you now.
What's going
So
on, dude?
Just being
Oh, not
harassed by a
much.
6.5-year-old man.
it's okay. I have a 13-year-old brother. I'm used to it.
Fair enough. So you're, I mean, ahead of us on like 90% of everything we're talking
Yeah, all
about
the
on the
information.
episode.
Tell us more about the Ebu
Yeah,
Gogo.
tell us more of what we missed, please.
I'm not ahead of you guys. I've just spent 13 years of my life watching these pointless documentaries about these things.
I define pointless.
Yeah.
Maybe it was all for this moment right
I
now.
would sit and watch the Finding Bigfoot marathons on Animal Planet when I was 12. Like,
I mean, they're sick though. Let's be real.
they never
Fire.
find shit though.
Yeah, no,
They just always leave
it's
you
like-
more every single time.
I finally figured it out like 2.5 years ago. I was just sitting down. I'm like, man, they never
Nobody's
do anything. They
found
just do the
shit.
same thing every episode.
Yeah. Is that
And it's also
was
Hollywood.
was it Chasing Bigfoot? Was that the one that was on Netflix like a year or two ago? I don't remember. Was it
The one with Todd Standing.
I don't remember who was. Oh, it was Discovering Bigfoot was the name of it.
Discovering Bigfoot.
Jeff Meldrum was the guy who did it.
Yeah,
My dad was like
there's a
talking
few
to me
of them
about
on
that
there.
one. It was some pretty interesting stuff, but like none of it I was like convinced of that it couldn't just have been faked. You know what I mean? It's like kind of thing where it's just like I can't.
Yeah, some of it
definitively
is,
say
yeah,
that-
but other stuff is like,
Well, and then okay, like you might have a better understanding of this. Do you have any idea why we think that Bigfoots do tree knocking?
oh well, why do
I'm kind of
apes
putting you on
do
the
it?
spot here,
It's
but
it's a communication thing.
yeah. Like, but why is it that we think that the sound that we are hearing is Bigfoot knocking on a tree?
And not like
Well,
trees
what else
blowing
would
in the
it
wind?
be?
I don't know,
Animals
fucking
can't.
woodpecker?
Animals, all the woodpeckers.
Yeah, I
aren't
mean,
that
I've heard the audio. It's not quite a woodpecker, but you know what I mean. Like,
other animals can't make those noises, and
I
mean
guess,
it's not
but
like a tree
how do you know?
falling over.
We can't prove that a Bigfoot could make those noise. If we,
Well, if it has opposable thumbs, then it can.
Ah, damn. Okay, I'll give you that. All right. I mean, and some of the like weird, where like there's like formations out
Yeah,
of
like
trees.
the teepees
Yeah,
almost.
it's almost like a teepee. But then the dude like hung like
Well,
some
those
food up
things
in the
are
middle of
weird.
it or something.
It's a sacrificial pit.
I don't know
like-
much about those.
Baiting it out. There was some stuff
I
in
know
that one
those
that
things-
confused me too, but
I know people think that it's all speculation, but like people think that those things are like markers or like homes or something. I don't know.
Like
Yeah,
a
that's what I had
territory,
heard,
sorta,
like-
like a border.
Yeah,
of some
like
kind?
marking
Okay.
territory or like marking pathways and stuff. I don't know.
Interesting.
this way to the water and back to the
Uh,
cave or
There
whatever.
was this
I mean, I suppose.
there was this dude who had a YouTube channel. His name was called
Counting
Utah
Cryptids.
Sasquatch.
Utah Sasquatch.
Oh yeah, your guys' YouTube channel's great.
It's literally just the
Like,
episode, it's
subscribe,
nothing. Let's be honest.
like, subscribe, donate.
Yeah. Thanks.
Hey, cause I mean, this is in my like home state. Like, I'm in Utah,
Mhm.
so it's like watching these videos. I'm like, hey, I know where that is. I can actually go there. And he's since taken down every single one of his videos, but I managed to save some before he took them all down. So I have like this archive of like 20 or 30 videos that you can't find anywhere else now.
That's sick.
Or then there's the
Yeah, he
you
did
heard the
delete
Mountain Beast
everything, dude.
Mysteries guy?
The which one?
Mountain Beast Mysteries?
Yeah.
The Justin Chernipeski guy?
Yes.
Yeah, he has several documentaries out that I've since saved and downloaded onto my computer.
Nice. I think the newest one he has on here is Wild Man: My Search for Sasquatch.
That's
Yes.
like 3 or 4 different documentaries.
Oh damn, fair enough. Okay. No, I don't think
This is what I do with my free time. I sit and read this stupid stuff.
I mean, again, it's all subjective.
Were
Lots
you
of
just
Bigfoot
talking about the
shenanigans in
Utah
Washington, too,
Bigfoot
yeah.
YouTube channel?
Utah
Yeah, that was
Sasquatch, yeah.
Utah Sasquatch.
Oh, Sasquatch. Okay, there's a
He's
YouTube
now on
Bigfoot
like this
channel.
like whole he's now on this like whole healthy living thing and like plant-based diet and everything like that.
Hmm.
Hey,
He's
Sounds
totally
like an
switched
idiot.
around his channel.
It's the wait. That's the same dude.
Yeah, he's totally switched
So
his
when you
channel
search for
around.
it, it's
like,
it's Nathan Rio. It's not secretly just you, is it?
yeah. No, it's not me.
That's not secretly just
I
you.
don't.
Cashing in on
I do
this
not
video.
look. I do not look anything like that.
Oh, okay. I'm just.
Yeah,
fucking
but you
with
just said you have an
I wish I had that
exclusive
body.
series of videos.
Yeah, you also just said you were the only one with all the videos. So.
I managed to find like a playlist that he hadn't
Oh, okay.
deleted, and it was like privated or something. I mean, it wasn't like publicly viewable, but it was still up if you search for it directly.
Do you know if the Wayback works with videos if they're no longer hosted?
I have no idea.
I have
That might be
no
worth looking
idea.
into too.
That's all.
But
you
yeah, I've
should
got
know
like
that.
he had like a John Bindernagel interview, like one of the last ones that was ever recorded,
Oh, sick.
and I managed to save that one too. If you know who he is.
Briefly, I'm vaguely familiar with the name, but like I don't.
He's like a wildlife biologist who recently died, but he was like really respected in the biology community and stuff, and he was one of the bigger proponents for like the existence of these things.
Awesome. Did you have a ridiculous Lauren Coleman quote that you sent to me earlier that we didn't mention in the episode, Connor?
It's just pendulous breasts.
That was a Lauren Coleman quote?
Yeah, that was from his website. 50
That dude
something
is a legend.
cryptids. He
Actually,
is.
though, I want to change Santa to just Lauren Coleman.
That would be amazing.
Lauren Coleman is Santa Claus.
Yes, just that's why we call him Father Cryptid.
Just brings you like stuffed cryptids.
Father
and-
Cryptid.
Yeah, that's what you should be teaching.
You
your
guys
son,
should get
that
his,
Lauren
like-
Coleman comes down your, breaks into your
I'm just gonna convince
balcony
him.
every year and leaves
Just
you.
breaks your
cryptids.
window and just climbs in and just starts shouting about Sasquatch.
Sasquatch is real.
Just very undisputable facts, just screaming them at you.
Just how jarring that would be. Just you're sitting it's a nice Christmas Eve night, all of a sudden your window just blows in and it's just some crazy dude screaming about Mothman and
I
shit.
don't.
That'd be good.
Excellent.
It's all real. They're coming.
Caden's over here laughing. He can't even hear.
Yeah.
He doesn't know what we're laughing about.
He's 2/3 of the conversation here.
It's fine. It's fine. It's fine.
He's just
Just
in
a
giant
giant
boxes with
boxes.
cryptids.
So that's why. Oh my God, he's the one leaving the cryptids around.
He's an
So
actual.
that's why they're
mad
just
scientist.
appearing miscellaneously throughout.
He's
I got
just
a
this
jaguar for
omniscient being.
Christmas.
He just manifests everything.
He's like He's just playing God and just leaving random creatures around.
I hope I get a dog man this year. Excellent. That's fucking good, dude.
All I
I'm
want for
very
Christmas
pleased
is
with
a
that
box
joke.
of cryptids.
That'd be sick. I'd buy that in a heartbeat. Just like some
Dog
action
man, let's
figures.
go.
7 boxes of cryptids.
This would be a perfect shout out for Ashley right here
Yeah.
with her
Ashley Stitch.
Yeah, her the plush cryptids that she does.
Put a link in the description.
She should sell like a box and call it Boxo Cryptids.
She was
It's like a
talking about
box set.
starting up
There's
her
that one
subscription service
Cryptid
again.
Crate.
Cryptid Crate, yeah, is
Cryptid
good.
Crate. Yeah, I got that. For a couple
Cryptid. I
months.
would subscribe to that in a heartbeat.
Yeah, it exists, homie. It's real. I got a couple
Not
of
a
shirts
sponsor,
and, like,
but
a
definitely
book
could
and
be.
some stickers and shit.
A cryptid volcano.
It's real. I promise. Definitely could be a sponsor.
I was literally thinking about getting a hoodie from your guys' shop and like wearing it to work.
Dominating. I'm actually gonna
definitely
redo some of those because I want to do like with the one that's just like the icon that's just the 2 C's. I'm gonna make it like small, like it's over like on the side where like a
patch.
pocket would be.
Yeah.
Do a smaller one on those.
Like a breast pocket or something.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I was thinking this morning. Honestly, I think while I was in the shower before I came here, I was like, I need to fucking do that.
That'd be
As
epic.
well as that.
I enjoy
that
them.
Oscar Jaws poster knockoff that I have yet to start.
I do think they shrink a little bit as a forewarning.
Maybe that is something to do.
Yeah,
with
they do.
The quality, because there's
Yeah.
you can select like different quality of the material.
I don't. On T-shirts, you definitely can.
Chilluminati, I'm listening.
Does it have Cholulas? Chihuahuas?
It's the secret society of Chile.
The country?
The Chillu
It's like a chili
the
cook-off.
Chilluminati. It's just a chili cook-off. Just a bunch of
It's a chili
dads, like,
cook-off
meeting in the
hosted by
woods.
like.
I would go. I would go try chili there.
Yeah, me too.
A batch of goofballs that do a similar thing. Okay. A similar thing to
What we're doing?
Yeah.
Or Cholula Nadi there.
Chilluminati.
Illuminati.
Laugh. I'll laugh.
Oh,
Disinfected
what is that place
podcast.
where they're
yeah,
like?
yeah.
Oh, okay.
What is
So
that
you
place
secretly
where it's
host this
like a
podcast,
woods-
and now you're self-promoting here.
Atticus,
Is that what this is?
co-host of Chilluminati.
What's that even?
What is it? Bohemian Grove?
Yeah, Bohemian Grove is the event.
Just like everybody who they just meet there, and there's like they have a chili cook-off.
Yeah,
I would be down for a chili cook-off.
if you could,
It's just like the highlighted event.
Cryptozoological event, I would be into it.
Yeah. We'll get Lauren Coleman Santa Claus there.
Oh my God, he'd be the judge for
I
the.
just want to
chili
see
cook-off.
George Bush and Obama cooking chili next to each other.
I do.
There's some Saudi
I-
prince
Osama
on
bin
the other end of the
Laden.
clearing.
Yes.
Bush in one of those chef hats would be sick.
A Saudi prince on the other end. And they're just waving like ladles at each other. Oh, hey, George. I'm going to kick your chili's ass this year.
Snallygaster meat chili. They have tentacles. That seems like it'd be like octopus.
I'm
sort
going
of
for a white
situation.
jackalope chili this year.
A white jackalope.
White jackalope.
A cantaloupe cereal.
Did you say cantaloupe cereal?
Cantaloupe cereal. Hell yeah.
That's what the kids over here yelling. I don't know.
Yeah, I said cantaloupe.
Cantaloupe?
Are you cannibal cereal?
Cantaloupe cereal.
Cantaloupe.
I mean, that's definitely better than cannibal, I suppose.
These
Van meter ribs. Honestly,
ribs.
that
Van
probably
meter
there's probably a shop that exists in that town called
No.
Van Meter
You
Ribs.
get the Van Meter ribs at the one bar in
at
town.
the bar in town. Yeah, after the Van Meter Visitor Festival, everybody
We got
all of
invited
the
to go.
vendors go to the local bar and just like hang out. They call it the after party, but they just go to this bar in this small ass town in the middle of Iowa and just hang out. We're from small ass towns in the middle of Iowa, and we're like, yeah, hard pass
No.
on all of that. I
That
do
sounds
not want to be
awful.
there.
Me and Jacob are not the most social people though either, so
Yeah, I'm a post up in the corner kind of guy.
sit here, drink a beer, and like, all right, time to go.
Oh, I had an idea for you guys for merch the other day.
All right, I'm listening.
You know the Chuck sneaker, like the Chucks, the sneakers.
Yes, sir.
Make black
Counting
ones and
Cryptids
call them
with-
black Shucks.
With the Counting Cryptids in
I just
the
threw my
sea.
microphone. That is amazing. I love the idea. I'm not
Black
sick.
Shucks.
Can
Like
we do that?
like
in
the
I
episode?
don't know the process that goes into making shoes, but I'm
Converse
about it.
SX Counting Cryptids collab.
Yeah, we our platform is definitely not big enough for that yet,
If every
but not uninterested.
if all 4 people could go spam that on Twitter,
Yeah, there you go.
Black Shucks. Heck yeah.
Black shucks. That's sick.
I would definitely purchase a pair.
I mean, yeah, I would too.
I need to
Fat-ass
purchase
fucking feet.
some shirts and some more merch.
I need to get more stuff up there. I've been thinking about that lately. I have some stuff I've been working on, but just like also slacking pretty hard too. So it happens. I'm busy, and I thought I would be not busy, but I'm more busy,
Yeah.
and it doesn't stop. And it's midway through November. What happened to this year?
Yeah.
It's like you got cantaloupe for Christmas.
That's what
It's
happens
like I got
when you get
cantaloupe
old.
for Christmas. Yep, you're right.
Yeah,
Kevin.
that's
Thanks.
exactly what I give for Christmas. Just a cantaloupe as an adult.
That's what I'm gonna get you for Christmas, dude.
Fresno Nightcrawler
sweatpants.
sweatpants. Yep.
Oh, okay. I'm listening though. What could it just be sweatpants? Like, what does it have to
I
be?
feel like
that-
they. I want them to like.
just
not be
say Fresno
form-fitting.
Nightcrawler on the ass instead of juicy. Like,
Well,
what
I
do
think
you
down
want
the
to do?
side would be
Oh, a little more tasteful
Less
down the leg, like sideways.
awkward for
Okay.
men.
Okay.
No,
I
man,
mean,
I'd
if you
wear
could just
that in
put
a heartbeat.
Nightcrawler on the front for men,
Nightcrawler.
that also would be funny. Yeah.
You could put
like
Nightcrawler
you
anywhere
just
on
sell it
pants
as a
and I would
bed
buy
sheet.
them.
Just sell it as a bed sheet.
Cantaloupe on pants, and I'd eat them.
You're gonna eat pants?
Yeah,
How you do that? You don't have teeth.
I do have teeth.
You're not your front ones. See you eating that Oreo with your molars.
I'll put
There's a
candle
whole
on
bowl
the
of mac and
back.
cheese sitting on the table, guaranteed right now, and he's just eating cookies and candy.
There's also a pizza box full of mac and cheese that I
Pizza
filled to
box
psych
full
him
of mac
out.
and cheese. Pizza in the candy though.
I mean, it's better. Let's be honest.
This
Cantaloupe.
app is
Edible
so
cantaloupe
weird.
pants. The what is?
The app, it just keeps kicking me out of the live stream every so
Oh, I saw,
often.
it keeps doing that to
Yeah,
somebody
yeah,
else too.
yeah.
I've seen this one get kicked like 50 times. Sorry that's happening.
Yeah, it's fine.
is
It will probably
early
yeah.
in-
It's been around like 2 months now. The only reason we use it is because nobody else does live podcasts, so we're featured on the front of Podbean every single time we do anything live.
Yeah.
And we've
Hell
had like
yeah.
5 people find the show just from Connor like talking to Brandy that one time.
Yeah, that one time. That was
It's a good way to
not
get
even a
new
podcast,
viewers.
but it worked.
That's I mean, we're trying it out. I mean, we'll probably
I think
end
if
up
we
switching platforms eventually, but
yeah.
it'll probably
I
be
guess-
something easier.
know
Like
the-
YouTube's so universal.
Yeah, I
Because you
think
can just
we'll
pull that
probably
up
move
too.
to
Like you don't have to have the
YouTube.
app downloaded or anything. So that's probably going to be the switch eventually.
I know those conspiracy guys do live podcasts every once in a
Oh,
while.
Yes,
Gordo
they
does them all the
do.
time.
He did Twitch and then he was doing live
he's always
.me and then
yeah. What
Live
is
me.
that one?
is that what he's still using?
I think so.
I have no idea. I
Boy,
don't
I used
don't
to be
really
pretty
listen to
involved
them
with
anymore.
that. I used to be pretty involved in that whole deal.
I used to
I-
listen to them big, but then I just got bored with them.
That's some of the the episodes early on were really fun, and then like they just got really like depressing to listen to, and then like
They
when he
got,
does,
like,
the true
super
crime
serious
ones and
and
stuff.
stuff.
Yeah, I'm like, now your dick jokes just make me sad.
But I love Gordo.
I do too, Doug. Yeah, 100%.
Yeah,
Like, big fan. I mean, I still love the show. I still listen regularly. It's just like the more recent ones have been more serious, and it's like definitely much more of a downer.
Yeah.
mean,
so
Or just like like early on was like I hate to say fun, but you know what I mean. Like with Mothman and like that's fun. Ouija
Bro,
board
they're a
is fun.
Nuniki episode.
Oh, the Anunnaki or whatever. Yeah. Oh my
Yeah.
God, the deep dives on those ones.
His like
Cantaloupe
his
is a
like
cryptid.
Bill Cosby joke.
Dude, he is.
He makes a
freaking-
Bill Cosby
he's
joke
a
in there, and he's
funny
like,
ass dude.
he's like the only black hole I want to see. It belongs to Halle Berry.
God damn. Yeah, that dude. I like that dude. He's a fun
There
guy.
are other-
He's really nice too. I've
you
I've reached
listen-
out to him a couple of times too. He's cool dude.
Did you
Big fan of
listen
that
to their
show.
Why Press Play one?
I have not.
I watched him stream
They
video
had, like,
games
a
on Why
second
Press
one.
Play like once. But I never
They
listened
only
to
did
the
like
podcast.
12 or 13 episodes, and then he just
That was right
quit.
before he came to America, I think, though.
Oh, is he?
Oh,
because he's doing
that
the
actually
HGTV
happen?
or
Now.
whatever, right? He must have just got done with that because it didn't go the full extent of what he was trying to do, right?
It must
I think
not
it
have
got
been
cut
'cause
short.
I thought he was supposed to be out there for like a whole year.
It was going to be originally, and then I think it didn't get as much traction as he was looking for, and so then he kind of scaled back the size of the project.
Which is a huge bummer. Like I was
Definitely.
really hoping that he would make it. I believe I donated to the cause.
I think he was going to be in Omaha. Like it was
is that
pretty
why
close.
their
Yeah.
I would've
episodes
gone
have been
see him.
so bare bones?
Well, he recorded a ton of them in advance, I think.
Yeah.
So he was probably stretching himself thin to make that happen to get
Especially
enough before he
editing
was
and
Yeah.
doing all that and researching.
Oh,
and
yeah.
He
doing
has
it
like 6-hour
nonstop.
episodes. Like,
Yeah.
how do
I
you
do not understand
that
how
amount
he
of
does all
research?
that.
do I spend 6 to 7 hours worth of research for like an hour and a half episode?
Mm-hmm. And then as the editor for this podcast, our hour-long podcasts take me multiple hours to do. I can't
I
imagine like
spent
6, 7, 8-hour
12
podcasts.
I spent 12 hours editing an hour and a half video.
Yeah, I
Like,
am really not
oh
looking
my
forward
gosh,
to
I
the
cannot
eventual move
imagine
to
that.
video, possibly.
Yeah.
I will not be.
We'll have to figure,
editing
we'll
those
figure
to an
something out
extent.
to make it work, or you know what I mean? We'll just have to figure it out. It's gonna be rough at first, but once we get it, it'll be all right.
hire editors.
Dude, I'm sure that
Pay
there's
me
somebody
more.
on Fiverr that we would be able to do, and it would be the easiest
A
thing.
template.
However,
thing. Thank you for the note. Whatever the pod.
the pod points,
I-
whatever the shit that is. Yes.
I guess we'll figure out what that is here.
Oh my gosh, there's just food appearing.
Here, have some more.
Oh god. This guy.
Stop.
This guy.
Doesn't
This
have
guy.
a t-shirt
I don't
yet.
even know what they
or doesn't
do.
have a sweatshirt
Homie,
yet.
they're homie.
It is peeling.
What is it? Oh, food.
It's
Yeah.
kind of weird that it doesn't show you. It just sends one gift, even though it's a different amount of
A different amount of gifts.
pod points.
I don't even know what they do. I think it's like I think the beans are like so you can
It's
get
so
into certain
confusing.
shows or something.
It's so dumb.
It's like
you
this
can
weird
get
currency
golden
in the app.
beans and then turn it into golden tickets to get into shows or something. Like it is far too complicated for what it needs to be. I really don't know
It
why.
sounds like a pyramid scheme.
Like I really don't know why they can't
Honestly,
just
yeah.
use U.S. dollars or something. Like
They're trying to capitalize on like bits that Twitch uses or something.
I don't understand those
everybody's
either.
trying to
like
be
that
Twitch.
mentality.
I want to donate you my money.
Then donate money, but bits is like the thing. Like, cool, you can watch ads to get bits, or you can purchase bits. So you can get bits for free, or you can do it that way, and then you can donate that way. And some people don't accept donations directly. The only thing they will accept is like subscriptions from Twitch or
It's because
bits.
We can't give it back.
it's
type thing,
because
whatever.
people would like scam streamers and stuff, and they'd say they like donated an absurd amount of money, and then they'd be like, "All right, give me back my money, or I'm gonna do this."
Or do a chargeback on
They'd,
the
like,
credit card. Like, I
blackmail
never
people.
authorized this transaction. You have to cancel
Yeah,
this. And then
they'd be like
yeah,
blackmailing them and stuff.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's kind of like a protection type thing.
It makes sense.
Not a
like,
bad idea, I
Yeah,
guess.
100%. Because you don't want to have to be dealing with all that stuff in addition to like just trying to set up your whatever. You're trying to do that for your career at that point. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
people are just trying to make a living.
Yeah,
I
I mean,
respect
but
them
Twitch
for
is a
it.
freaking
rough.
dumpster fire
Dude,
anyway.
it's toxic. Toxic.
Yeah, but how about that mixer though?
The only way you can actually
over
get
there.
people on there is like the booby streamers is the only way you can actually
Literally.
get people on there. You got so many double standards on there too. Like people will get banned for the dumbest shit.
Yeah, but then other people do like 10 times worse things, and they're like they don't
Yeah.
get banned whatsoever.
Yeah,
wonder-
it's so
Spitting
backwards.
vodka into your cat's mouth and then throwing it. What?
I heard about that.
That was old
Like,
news though.
what
That was
the
like a year
hell?
ago at this point. But
It really was, but I didn't know about it, and I was listening to a
Yeah.
backlog of podcasts for this one group, and they talked about it, and I'm like, how did I not hear about this?
there was a channel on YouTube I used to watch called Streamers Reloaded, I think was that. And so he would cover like news and stuff for streamers or whatever. So then when things like that came up, he'd like talk about it and he'd have like the clip for it and everything. I'm like, yes, this dude rules. Yeah, the VODs on YouTube.
I heard about that dude in. There's a dude in like Australia who like beat his girlfriend on camera or something.
There's a couple. One of them was like you could hear the audio of it, and then that dude that got banned for that. He ended up getting prison.
I mean, but I
time,
think she like instigated though. Like she pushed him and like was hitting him first. So it's like
this may be a different one than I'm aware of.
Now the cat's in here.
Cat
I don't know.
attack.
Live streaming is just weird, I think.
Yeah, 100%.
Welcome to Counting Cryptids.
Yeah, as after this live show, we started talking about Bigfoot.
This
briefly,
is
and
live
now we're just
streamed.
Talking about streaming while streaming.
Yeah, it's fine. No big, you know. We figure out a way to just have this going, then we just this in our off time when we are.
Was this
away. I
episode
can download
really
this
an
easy.
hour?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I mean, we've
easily.
been recording an hour and 25 minutes at this point.
It was an hour? Are you serious?
Yes, sir.
It didn't feel that long. It felt like it went by pretty fast.
Time
'Cause-
flies when you're having fun.
Thank you, Jacob.
Then again, I'm usually listening to this at work, and it's like going by so freaking slow.
With your day
Because
dragging
it's
by,
work.
Yeah, at
Yeah.
420 and what? It's
420.
always 420 in my day,
Somewhere.
sir. It is 620 where I am though.
Yes.
It's 5:20 for me.
Your mountain time in Utah?
Yeah, Mountain Time.
I have never made it out to Utah. I need to do that someday.
Is that where the Mormons?
Yeah.
Nathan
phone
was
call?
leaving a phone call.
No, my Ring camera went off.
Oh, I've been meaning to
There
get
was
one of those. How
motion
do
at
you
my
like
front
it?
door.
Do you like
It's
it?
good. I like it.
You
My
don't
wife
have to pay
really
a
did.
It was
monthly
annoying on
subscription, do you?
Halloween.
Oh, with everybody walking
I don't
by
think
and
there's a
stuff.
monthly subscription. Well, everybody came up and was just ringing the doorbell, and I didn't have candy to give out.
Yeah.
I'm gonna
So
duct
I'm
tape
like,
my
I don't
webcam
have
to the door.
anything.
Did they egg your house for not giving them candy?
Nah, they're pretty people out here. I've never seen anybody egg anybody else out here. Like, I've seen toilet papering once, but it was like for homecoming or something. They were trying to
Once?
toilet
Oh, yeah,
paper
that happens
somebody.
Do you live in like
weekly.
a small town, or do you live in like a big town in Utah?
What's the population of your
It's
whereabouts?
like
I don't
this
need like
weird
specifics. You know
hybrid.
what I mean? Okay.
It's like this weird hybrid of like big town and small. It's like just big enough that like nobody knows everybody, but it's just small enough that it's like it's not a crazy city and everybody goes to bed at 10.
So
Okay.
Ankeny.
Yeah, like you're describing like very similar to our sort of situation too, because nothing in Iowa is big enough to be like
Even considered a
big-
city.
Yeah, like Des Moines.
Des
is
Moines
the
not even a
closest,
city.
and
Yeah.
it's not like
Iowa City is hardly a town.
like there's college towns that just have larger populations
Yes.
because there is a college there and then
6
more
months,
work there. But
3
yeah,
4
it's
months
just,
out of the year, you know.
it's smaller towns. So
I mean, technically I'm in a college town, but it's just like a regional
Relatable.
campus. It's like
Okay, yeah.
the actual campus
University
is
of
like 30
Phoenix?
minutes north.
In
No.
Utah?
No,
I
that's
actually
online. It's a goddamn joke. Okay. It's like
I
DeVry
actually
University. It's
got
something you do online.
emails from them.
Debated.
Oh, okay.
I got emails from them back in senior year. They're like every other day they'd be like, "Join our university. It's so great." I'm like, "No, I'm not going to
What if I
Arizona."
didn't?
I would if I could, but no.
Except for pass.
Yeah.
All right. What is your opinion of the pendulous breasts?
Yes, sir. We must know your
I mean,
feelings about them.
I'm
Enough
an
said.
equal
All right.
opportunity titty lover.
Equal opportunity employer.
Titty lover.
Fair enough.
I believe 3 states have legalized not wearing a shirt for women.
Really?
Really?
Something I saw on Facebook, so
I
take it for
mean,
what it's worth.
Gender equality.
equality.
I don't
I
care
yearn
if
for
you get
true
your titties out.
gender equality.
I am to please.
That'd
Yeah,
be just so
yeah.
awkward.
I mean, if that's
Especially
what you
where
wanna do
I
with
work in
yourself,
retail.
I guess. Yeah,
I mean, I'm just
know where you
imagining
work,
customers
so-
coming in like,
Yeah.
ugh.
It's
I'd like a
it's-
baguette, please.
It's
Just holsters it.
Oh my god. Our room's about to shut down. We've been live for so long. We have
You
a
guys get
limited amount of
time limit?
time. Yeah.
I can only go to
Really?
an hour and a half, and then it just
That
did it
is
say 30 minutes or
crap.
30 seconds? I didn't read it.
I don't know. We either have 30 minutes or 30 seconds, so we will either be cut off
In
very
10
abruptly
seconds
or slightly
or,
less
yeah.
abruptly.
See how this goes.
We'll play it by ear. But yeah, just the way that their service works is technically bound to a time limit somehow.
Which is
I don't
kind of
really know
annoying
why.
because we do this.
So-
I mean, to be fair, we could just then technically be live and always be on the front page of Podbean, and that might
you got a good point
be a
there.
problem.
I mean, that would be, yeah.
because we are already exploiting the shit out
You
of
gotta
this
give
anyway.
everybody else a chance.
Hey,
You
technically
gotta
somebody
let
is
the other
above
guys
us.
have a
Yeah,
chance.
there's one person above us.
There is one person that has more people than us right now. There is 2 other ones live, so just
It's really
saying.
funny that we make the page because most of the podcasts on Podbean are like church podcasts. So many of them are. Like I feel like that's kind of where all those people kind of go to is Podbean here.
Huh, I don't know.
So and
Maybe
literally I said, what was the first live podcast name? It was like fuck it or something like.
you said testicles. That is all.
Oh yeah,
was
and
the name.
I got 50 plus listeners.
Just you shooting the shit with Brandy,
Yeah,
who did not show up. Unless that random one that
I gotta
got
ask.
kicked who hasn't said anything. Yeah, what's
No.
up?
No.
So your guys' research, like,
it's poor.
do you guys get like, do you guys get like the information from like those old school internet days looking websites where it's like awful
where it's
contrasting colors and like
a black page with white text that
Or
I can't see
Yeah,
anything right for like
green
an hour and a
text.
half afterwards. Yes,
Yep.
or like YouTube videos
And
of
the
robot
links
voices
don't
that
work
make you bash your
anymore.
head off of stuff.
Yeah.
dude, very much so.
that is
The
what every
plight.
single one of those sites is like.
Yeah, man, it's bad.
There's gotta be somebody's.
Yeah.
I don't know if I could
Some of
make
it has
something. If
good
like I was good
info
at
on it.
programming,
There's
like
templates
I would
and stuff on
totally
stuff
set up a
anymore. It's so
site
much
where you
easier.
can get good
Literally,
stuff.
you can go through Squarespace.
Yeah.
I mean, not a sponsor,
WordPress.
definitely could be. No, well, WordPress would require you to know a little bit more, but like with Squarespace or like website builder and stuff, like they have existing templates and stuff, and you're just like, this is the information I want to display here. It's like it's click and drag, it's copy paste. It's not like you need no information of anything to be able to do it.
My experience
It's-
with WordPress is literally, fill in things. Like honestly, like it's pretty much Tumblr.
There's a format. set up
Paranormal
and you-
website scene needs a facelift.
It does. I mean, I get it because it's like you're trying to be spooky, so you want the whole thing to be dark or whatever too. And like I see where they're coming from, but like part of it too is just like
No.
people have like a vision and they won't back down from whatever they're seeing. Like I work in web design, so I deal with people all the time who are just like, I need this very specific way and like all this other stuff. It's like, dude, you realize I'm going against like 10 different like best practices to do this stupid thing you want to do.
Yeah.
Like you want the text to bounce back and forth and flash. This isn't 1994.
Can I
buddy.
get
Like,
some clip art,
come
please?
on. Yeah, dude, seriously, stuff like that. Like people still think that's relevant.
Clip
It's
art.
not. Dude, it's really, you have no idea how often people will just like send me logos and stuff that is just clip art. Or stuff like that. Or like they'll go on Fiverr and like pay somebody to do a logo and then they
Use clip art.
no. They don't ever actually pay the person for the design.
Awesome.
They get like the first one where it's like the pending approval or whatever, and then they
We'll
like
just send that out.
they're like cool. They just like screenshot it because they don't download it because it's whatever. So it's got
Yeah.
watermarks all over it and stuff. It's like I'm not using this. You stole this.
It's got like the stock photo watermarks.
Literally, no, dude. I get so much of those. There's this resource I use now called tineye.com. You upload an image to it, and it'll tell you where else on the internet that image
It's found,
is.
yeah.
So that way, when people send me bullshit that is like clearly taken from a stock website, I can find it and be like, stop. You're gonna cost me 20 grand an image if you get
Here,
caught
would you
doing
like
this.
to buy the rights to this? Here's the website you can contact.
Dude, and then I get people who want to use professional athletes because, and the way that professional athletes work, it's actually fucking bullshit. So you have to have the like because you're using their likeness with like famous people. So anybody in the photo, you need their approval. You need the approval of their teams, and you need the approval of the photographer. So if you have a photo of 2 basketball players, you need permission from 5 different entities, both of the players, both of their teams, and the photographer.
Any photos of me has to go through Jacob, myself,
So
and my wife.
we were looking into using a photo of Tom Brady from when he was in college, even in Michigan, who we work with. We were looking
Yes.
into using a photo of him for something that we had been working on. And so we getting into contact with some people about figuring that out. $150,000 just to use his likeness.
Oof. Ow, that hurt.
That's not even the team's permission. That's not the photographer's permission or anybody else in the photo. That is just for using his likeness. He gets 150 grand.
Damn. How do I get that?
Copyright
Popularity.
stuff is like, oof.
Be super famous. Yeah, I took a
Fair.
online course from Duke. 10 out of 10 would not recommend. It's awful. I'm never one. I did, and you're supposed to. It's one of those things too, where it's like, do like a course a week, maybe 2 of them a week or whatever. I did the whole thing in like 5 days. I was like, I want to be done with this now, and I just beat all that into my skull, and I hated going to work that whole
Well,
week. Was
there's your
awful.
problem.
Ugh,
I'm
You
trying to
did it
learn
all at
coding on
once.
the
I did
side,
to
and I'm just
myself,
like,
you know.
20
Masochist.
minutes, I'm going to kill myself.
Yeah, it was bad. I'd have to
C++.
take breaks for a while, just bash my head and
Ugh.
stuff. But yeah,
That's how college is, man. Like, I'm in like all online classes right now, so it's like go at your own pace, pretty much.
that's nice.
I mean, you can go super ahead, or you can like go with the weekly lesson plans.
Well, then I guess that kind of gives
I
you the
don't
ability
even-
to like get ahead, and then you can slack the next
Yeah.
week if you have stuff
I
going on. or
don't
something.
even. Yeah, I don't even freaking watch the lectures, man. Like, they give us all these lectures and stuff, but it's like, all the information is already accessible. Just look it up on the internet. Like, it's all there.
Yeah.
I can't tell you how many times
University of
Quizlet
YouTube.
has saved my ass.
I don't even know what that resource is.
Yeah,
Does it have
that's-
the answer to all the tests
What
on
was the
internet?
one with the book summaries?
Oh, there's a few of them, but I don't use them. But
The one
even
from like when we were
textbooks-
in elementary, like middle school, high school.
I cannot remember what it's called, but there's a few of them I know of.
Clip Notes?
Clip notes, 100%.
Cliff Notes.
Cliff
Cliff
Notes?
Notes.
Oh yeah, I've
Mhm.
used Cliff Notes.
Was that what it was?
Cliff Notes.
Yeah, it
is
was
good.
definitely Cliff Notes.
Okay, I don't know if I ever used that shit even. I think that was like at the cusp of me in high school when that started being a thing.
I knew it was a
100%.
thing, but I was so lazy, I didn't use the thing.
Yeah, I was
and
like, I'm not
that's-
gonna do my homework
Right.
anyway, so I don't need to go there for you to tell me the answer to the homework that I'm not going to do.
Right.
I'm a piece of shit.
Podcast.
But I could find like textbooks in PDF form. Like, you can find everything on the internet. It's just a matter of if you
Getting
care
college
about
textbooks on the
copywriting
internet
or
for
not.
free as a PDF instead of
Exactly.
getting the printed version
for
for $400.
Exactly. Oh my gosh, it's so
That shit's
expensive.
just a whole scam all the way through and around, dude. It's
It's just like the
Half
whole
of it is
copyright
outdated
stuff, man.
material
It's just
anyway.
like, oh,
they
they just charge absurd amounts of money for like the most simple information.
Mass-produced books, like
well, and then they make brief changes and whatever, and then the book is outdated, so then you can't buy
Use
like
that
an
one.
old one.
That's why
you
they
have
have,
to buy
like,
the new one.
That's why they have like 5th
It's like
edition books, but it's like all
encyclopedia.
the same
Exactly.
thing. It's just
It's exactly
it's the
that right
exact same
there.
thing. They just changed a
They
graphic.
make one addendum. Exactly. They
added
change
one
the
word.
color of the cover of the book, and move around the
it's
order
the
of 2 things.
2019 edition.
Yeah, exactly. It's bullshit. It's a scam.
We're gonna do that with the
College is a
podcast.
scam.
We're gonna do what with the podcast?
We're gonna start saying like,
Oh, this is required reading. You have to buy this book
this is required.
to listen
as a
to
prerequisite to listen to this episode of Counting Cryptids. You will need to have read this book and also listen to these podcasts that have these prerequisites for you reading these books.
including Unbelievable
It's
Podcast.
gotta be by Lauren Coleman too, because he has books about literally everything.
Okay, if we can get some sort of cut on those, yeah, I'm in.
You have
Otherwise,
to
we're
live
gonna-
Jacob
we're
and
gonna
I's
run our own
life
book list.
before you can listen to the podcast.
You have to what?
You have to live our lives to
Before you
listen, yeah.
unfortunate that no, all of our download
Just
numbers
like
gone.
some unattainable paywall.
Exactly. And we just looking for some crazy asshole out there who's just got like $3 million just burning a hole in his pocket, looking
He's got,
to
like,
fund my
nothing better
wildest
to do.
dreams. Our podcast needs a sugar daddy, Connor.
Correct. Right now it's Nathan. He's donated the most money.
The highest dono here. Hilarious.
More like a sugar baby.
Sugar
Whatever.
baby.
That's candy though, right? Isn't
I don't
that a
know
thing?
what the
Sugar babies.
terminology is.
Sugar babies is a candy,
Dude,
right?
sugar babies are the bomb. They're delicious.
Is it candy or is it like a pastry?
They're like candies. But that's like technically the term is if like you have like someone who's younger than you who pays you money. It's
Or
like
is
not a
it-
sugar
or is it a
daddy. It's a sugar
diaper?
Is
baby.
it
in
the
a
inverse?
crib.
What is it? Okay, so if one is a sugar daddy, what is
The
the
receiver.
girl called? Yeah, I'm assuming. Sorry, maybe I should be
Sugar
assuming.
mama.
In this instance, is it a sugar mama or is that if she is then paying a
providing
younger
money.
man? Is a sugar baby the person who is receiving the gifts? Is my question.
You know, I do not know.
I have never
I
thought this
always
deep
thought-
into this.
You're like,
These are the real
know-
questions that matter that have no relation to the podcast whatsoever.
These are the questions that haunt me in the shower every morning.
Literally wake up in a cold sweat at 2 a.m. every
What
day.
is a sugar daddy?
What
Am I a
is
sugar baby?
baby?
fuck.
Connor's over here actually trying to figure out what's going on. Rapidly typing.
You gotta go to Urban
I
Dictionary.
need to
right
get my
now.
attorney.
Yeah, actively contacting my lawyer. I do think it's not a bad idea to have one on retainer, but
Definitely should.
we're doing just fine.
We haven't been kicked off any platform that I know of yet.
Speaking of getting kicked off, we're about to get kicked off of here, so we should probably just wrap it up.
Yeah.
Big thanks to everybody in live chat, especially you, Nathaniel. Appreciate
Super
you joining
thanks.
us for this. I don't think this records at all, other
Here,
than
have some
just
wine.
existing. Oh, thanks, baby.
What?
I don't think this records.
I can
you
download
can
this.
kick it off. Yeah, we might figure something out to do with this.
It might be a bonus
Otherwise,
episode with Nathan.
We'll do something.
If it's cool with Nathan.
Hell yeah.
Do you prefer Nathan or Nathaniel? I just interchangeably use them.
I don't
Titan
care
Lord,
anymore.
what do you want? Nate
I don't
Dog?
care anymore. You want to go in there and edit every time you say my name to Titan Lord? Heck yes,
Yeah.
do it.
Titan Lord. There.
Yeah, he said it once. Now he's just gonna use that. Oh no, he said it. So now we can use him saying
Okay,
it,
perfect.
and then replace every time we say it with his voiceover. You brought this on yourself.
Yes. Oh, I'm totally down for this. This is awesome. I like
The
this.
amount of work that I just made for Connor is
That's
amazing.
going to be released in about July next year.
That's fine. Whatever. It's a bonus episode. Nobody's
bonus
expecting
episode.
it. It's fine.
On the Patreon.
There's only 4
yeah.
people here that know it exists, so it's fine.
And one of them is in the
I'm
show.
gonna send
Yeah,
that
literally.
link. I'm gonna send that link to all my friends. Be like, hey, look, I'm in a
Loves that
podcast.
Hey, when I
Suck
die,
it.
play this at my funeral.
Yes.
And to Nathan's friends that are listening in the future, fuck you.
Yeah. he paid us to say that, literally.
Literally. I don't know how much yet, but
here,
An undisclosed.
here's 5 cents.
Oh yeah, there you go.
5
Sick.
cents is a hand clap.
Keep it on the down low.
Excellent.
It's under the table. Okay. Under the table hand claps.
Wait, what?
Uncharted territory.
What? What? We might need a hand check off that. We've got under the table hand claps. All right, buddy. You settle down over there.
The lights are off, Jacob.
Oh, God. All right. We gotta call this. I need to get going. I need to go say what the dog's up to.
Yes, and hopefully it's not too cold.
It's not too bad. No, it's like I mean, it was raining. It's not freezing yet. Feels like 30, but I'll be fine driving home. Cool. Hey, thanks again for sticking in and joining us, Nathaniel. Appreciate
Yes.
you.
Yeah.
And
Thank
everybody
you.
else in here. Thank you.
We will see you in 2 weeks.
2 weeks or something like that. Now let's see if Connor can actually figure out how to end the episode this time.
See, I'm going to go over this button here and press end.
Yeah, but it doesn't ever end when
Are you
push
sure you
it.
want to end this live show?
Yeah, but you do
Yes.
this every time and it doesn't end.